pleasant good evening and welcome to SAT TV's Channel 9 Evening News. I am Nisha Charles.
And I am Deslin Joseph.
And we are your presenters for the evening. Thank you for joining us. Among the major developments, man dies after losing control of his vehicle.
IMF staff mission visits Dominica.
India cartoonist arrest sparks outrage. Details of these and other stories after the break.
Support local. Support SAT Telecommunications Limited, the people's choice. Join hands with us. Come and sign up for your digital TV connection today. We got the sharpest, cleanest, brightest digital TV connection. No antiquated analog service, only pure digital and many new packages coming soon. With latest in sports, movies, children programming and much more. So if you have your flat screen TV and you want to see quality TV, join now. Sign up today for your digital television. Support local, support SAT Telecommunications Limited, the people's choice.
Thank you for staying with us. Now for the details of the news. The ACP Fish 2 project held its closing ceremony on Friday, September the 7th. The workshop was dubbed Training Workshop of Fisherfolk in Business Planning and Management, ICT Applications for Fish Enterprise Management Training. Facilitator of the project, Mr. Reginald Severin, hopes those persons involved now have a better understanding of fishing as a business and they are able to translate what they have learned into their businesses.
The interesting thing that we did over the past 2 weeks is that we didn't just learn business traditionally, but we use it using certain tools, using the computers and computer technology. And certainly, you may not be proficient in Excel, but certainly your eyes is open over the past days as to how you could use a simple Excel file, just a set of cells that you could use to create numbers and do some analysis.
One of the participants, Kevin Edmond, now understands the use of records for fishing and that it is a precautionary measure that must be taken.
I know now everything I put into it, I have to get out and more. So I know when I go out there to fish, I cannot just go and say I'm going to get a breath to come back. I'm going to do a business. If my friend is going out there, I should be able to tell him, yo partner, look here. You are going out there to do a business, it's not play.
He knows that he will be using the techniques learned in every aspect of his life. Chief Fisheries Officer Mr. Andrew McGlaw says this program is extremely important if we are going to continue to develop the fisheries sector for the further development of Dominica. He is grateful for countries like the EU and Japan who continue to provide technical and financial support to helping us to be self-sufficient in securing our economic stability in the long run.
We have been in the past providing many different forms of training activities, more specifically geared towards the harvesting and production of fish. But we have also always recognized that there is a big gap in the successes of our fisheries organizations, the cooperatives, the fishing groups, in that they have not been able to successfully become very useful players in the framework of the land-based development of our fisheries resource utilization.
He wants people to grasp the idea that fishing does not only have to be for pleasure, but it can be a source of income and a sound livelihood for us as a nation.
There is much more we can do by virtue of businesses within the fisheries sector. And as such, we don't just see the fisheries sector as persons who go out to fish in the early hours of the morning and come back in and then sell their fish to the general public, and that's it. We would like to see a greater extent of the compartmentalization of that sector, in the sense that we have fishers. These are the persons who actually go out, catch the fish, and once they have caught the fish and landed it, that the day is done.
Certificates were given to the participants at the end of the ceremony.
And in more local news, a total of 58 students are now better equipped for school as they were the recipients of school supplies awarded to them on Saturday, September 8th. This donation was made by School Supplies for Dominican Youth, which is a United States-based organization who has volunteers in Dominica, which they collect school donations to distribute to the youths in need. One of the volunteers of the organization, Ms. Cheryl Plummer, says that the organization consists of Dominicans in the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom who all see the need to help Dominican students in any way they can. She added that this year they received supplies such as coloring books, crayons, pencils, pens, and some school clothes, all to donate to students island-wide. Ms. Plummer says this is an international organization that has a website anyone can visit to donate supplies.
Anybody can log in to the site and donate or volunteer. So if we have anybody in Dominica or worldwide that want to volunteer, they have some skill or, they can log on to the website. On our website has where you click to volunteer or if you want to donate, so you don't necessarily have to be in the US. Once you can donate because we accept different credit cards and stuff like that. So wherever you are in the world and you want to donate, you can just click on our website, click donate or volunteer, whatever you want to volunteer, whatever you want to donate. And then we will reply you. We've given you the information of where our stations are in different locations, like the US, UK, and Canada. We have different locations.
The volunteer pointed out that the long-term goal of school supplies for Dominican youth is to keep supplying disadvantaged school children in Dominica so they will have the necessary school supplies essential for earning an education. She also added that they will also relieve some of the burden on the parents who may not have the adequate funding to provide their children with the items needed for school as they have become more expensive.
So in the long run, we would like more people to donate and then we'll have more stuff to give, So we also plan on doing adopt a child. So if you're in the US, UK or Canada, and you want to adopt a child, you can adopt a child and that child would be yours, whereas you can provide them with school supplies yearly, and then in return you probably get the child report cards, their progress on how they're doing, pictures, etc. So that is one of our goals, in the long term. But we beg that all Dominicans that can donate, even if it's $5, even though it's $1, to donate, even if it's a school book, even if it's a pen, even if it's a pencil, to donate so that we can help our needy kids.
The students who received the school supplies were from primary schools, high schools, and the Dominica State College. Ms. Plummer says this was the first donation in the recently started organization and they will be making donations every term. Persons wanting to donate supplies can log on to www.schoolsuppliesfordominicayouth.org.
The body of Dr. Henry Fagan will be laid to rest on Tuesday, September 11th. He was a plant pathologist who served the Windward Islands banana industry for many years. According to close family members, he became ill about 2 to 3 months ago, and this led to his death on September 3rd. Dr. Fagan worked with the Jamaica Coconut Industry Board on the Belize citrus industry, on cocoa in Jamaica, and then on bananas at Windban Research in St. Lucia. On his return to Dominica, he served as chairman of the Dominica Banana Marketing Corporation. He was a former research fellow in the Faculty of Agriculture at UWI. He published several papers in reference journals on pathology of citrus flowers and fruit set in Belize and investigated strains of casual fungus on citrus crops. Dr. Fagan was a member of the Dominica Academy of Arts and Sciences DAS, Agriculture and Environment Committee, and also a member of the local chapter. He assisted in the DAS contributions to the Dominica Botanical Gardens and was a valuable collaborator with Dr. Clayton Shillingford in the provision and development by DAS of multiple banana and plantain tissue culture varieties resistant to both yellow and black Sigatoka leaf disease. The objective of this project was to provide banana and plantain farmers with alternatives when especially black Sigatoka entered Dominica, which is now the case. DAS wishes to extend condolences to Dr. Henry Fagan's family and to say that his presence and many contributions to agriculture in the region will be missed. The funeral service will be held at the St. Alphonsus Roman Catholic Church in Portersville, with viewing from 3 p.m.
And in more local news, as part of Caribbean Wellness Day, the Ministry of Health and the Dominica Rotary Club is carrying a step-by-step advanced diabetes and foot care workshop from September 10th to 11th. According to the president of the Rotary Club, Ms. Marilyn Birmingham, over the years the Rotary Club has put in many hours of voluntary work in mobilizing resources from this particular program.
The program
our commitment to joining the fight against the growing threat of non-communicable diseases and their many complications will continue long after this project comes to an end. This year, we have begun the process of integration, and as the step-by-step diabetic foot care training has been included in the calendar of events for Caribbean Well.
Following the basic course in October 2011, Ms. Birmingham mentioned that the club noted a delay in the commencement of the second phase in the program related to data collection.
The club once again intervened and with the assistance of our partners, recruited a podiatrist to help strengthen the skills already acquired by the health professionals, as well as to help jumpstart the foot care program at the district level in Dominica. Miss Anna Evans volunteered her services for 2 months and worked in the 7 health districts, fulfilling the objectives of her mission on the island. I must address you, my fellow health professionals. Rotarians in Dominica and our sister clubs in Hereford, UK and Kent, Ohio have dug deep into their pockets to provide much of the resources required for.
She added that Rotary has also received support from the government of Dominica, and she's indeed grateful for that.
Support from the government of Dominica and the International Diabetes Federation in this venture. We have made the sacrifice to give our people the opportunity to live healthier lives. And so we are looking for a return on our investment. This we will accept as nothing less than the commitment from you who have been trained to ensure a drastic reduction in lower limb amputations. I wish you much success.
Dr. Kristen Van Acker gives a brief introduction of the 2-day workshop.
Myself. So the reasons why the step-by-step was established are listed here. I will not go into detail, I shall not read this. But already last year we learned that the step-by-step program was designed as a program in 2 parts. Basic course, then the participants start working, collecting the data, and then the advanced course is the upgrade of the knowledge gained during the basic course. Just for a brief review, last year we were here late in October, the rainy season was beginning, and on the 2nd day we had difficulties to come here because of heavy rain. Anyway, there were
Dominicans are being urged to take control of their health. Exercising regularly can curb their chances of being a statistic in the number of persons who are suffering from obesity and eliminate illnesses associated with obesity. This wake-up call is coming from the Young Men's Christian Association YMCA certified fitness specialist Dr. Deborah Hoestra. She says after completing her studies in Canada, she moved back to Dominica, her homeland, so that she can fight the increase in obesity here. Ms. Hoestra, who is also part of the DA fitness team, added that it is not all about fitness for her in her work, but also balancing life in terms of stress and relationships and wellness.
So a masseuse, and we also have people who counsel and people who help you. It's just getting back into shape all over your body, mind, and spirit. So we had aqua fitness in the pool, and we also have yoga, and we have Pilates. The ladies behind me are doing.
Ms. Hoestra says that when she completed her studies in Canada, she received many employment offers from gyms. However, looking at Canada, there are gyms on every block, while Dominica has the highest rate of obesity in the Caribbean and wanted to do something to change that. She added that Dominica is ranked number 10 in the world among countries with obesity and overweight people, and being a fitness specialist originally from Dominica, it was only right that she come back to help her family, friends, and fellow Dominicans.
My objective was not really for myself. It was to unite and inspire other instructors. So although I am teaching fitness classes and encouraging people to lose weight, because we have a weekly clinic here, I work also in the Road to Health Clinic volunteering to help people lose weight. But I also wanted to encourage other young people and other people who are trying to start a career to get into fitness and wellness, since it's a growing career around the world. And there's a big problem around the world with obesity. So I came to Dominica to actually, not just for myself, but to train and to inspire other fitness leaders.
Ms. Horeska went on to explain one of her fitness trainings.
Starting with Aqua Fitness every Monday and Friday. Aqua Fitness is a kind of therapeutic exercise, especially for the elderly, pregnant women, people suffering from backache and have knee issues, anybody who has a problem because they're so heavy they can't really work out. Aqua Fitness is great because the water gives you that support that you need, the buoyancy that you need to get a thorough workout. So Aqua Fitness is number one. Secondly, we have also Zumba dancing, lots of fun, and Pilates. So this is part of the Pilates, is a special exercise specifically for the smaller muscles in your body, getting it toned and lean. So those people who said they want a flat stomach, Pilates is excellent for doing that. And we also teach kickboxing. It's also high impact.
She says one of her long-term goals is to see more fitness instructors in Dominica, so that Dominica can be known as a wellness destination where all residents and visitors can benefit from being fit and healthy. Her fitness studio located in Belfast, which is open from Mondays to Fridays. Horeska says she prefers to work with women as they are more shy and do not necessarily like to work out among men.
I mean, you can be rich, but if you are sick, you're poor. You can be rich, but if you are unfit, you're poor, because health is wealth. And balancing your life is so important. Because, you know, nails are not important, cars are not important, clothing is not important, but you are the temple and you have to take care of yourself, and you can't overestimate the power of loving yourself and taking care of yourself. So I really think that people should step back and put their priorities right, that health is the number one priority in your life, and also God, of course, but have...
Owner of Tranquil Haven Spa, Ms. Kathleen Henry, who also worked with DA Fitness, says she opened her business as a massage therapist with the realization that Dominicans do not take their health seriously, and which is not a good thing.
Before you hear somebody say that they go for massage, and the people you would hear that go for massage would be like Mr. Astafans, Mr. Nassif. So now what I try to do in educating people about what a full body massage is and the benefits it has for your body, I let them know it's not people have the tendency of saying it's a bourgeois thing. I let them know that it's not. It's more of a health factor. So in that light, I try doing brochures, walk around town and I give out brochures, letting them know that a massage is really a detox. You know, sometimes you feel like your body needs to get a detox. You go at Jolly's and you buy this liquid bottle of detox and you drink it. That's what the full body massage does. It really detoxes your body. So, and it's very beneficial to the human body once a month. So I try to educate the people that it's not a luxury, but it's a very much health factor that we need to take into consideration as we go about our daily lives.
Ms. Henry says as Dominicans, we need to take a closer look at the type of foods that we eat so that we will not be always in a constant battle in trying to lose weight, as a lot of the choices we make in our diet contribute to being overweight. She added we must also consume a lot of water as it detoxes the body while flushing out the kidneys.
And in more local news, 2012 Caribbean Wellness Day was officially launched by the Ministry of Health and the Fisheries Division in the city of Rosal, where the public turned out in large numbers to show their support. Director of Primary Healthcare Services, Dr. Martin Christmas, says that there is a huge problem with the chronic non-communicable disease that is plaguing our nation.
2007, when our leaders acknowledged that the health of the region is the wealth of the region, they also acknowledged that we have a very real problem in the form of these chronic non-communicable diseases, and they pledged their support. They pledged all of their efforts to join in the fight against chronic non-communicable diseases, to lead in that fight. And this is why the Saturday of September every year is observed as Caribbean Wellness Day, and today we are...
Mayor of Rosal City Council, Mr. Cecil Joseph, says, in a city, whatever happens in the heartbeat of the country. In addition, Mr. Joseph also commended the Ministry of Health of the launching of the Caribbean Wellness Day to be in Rosal.
And I remembered as a young boy going to church at the Seventh-day Adventist Church that health was always, besides salvation, health was always number one. Where they taught you the right meals to take in, and where they taught you to do the right things to ensure that your body remains in shape. And so I took on the advice of the Honorable Minister, Mr. Timothy, and that's why I think in the whole framework of development, that sometimes we never know as individuals.
The mayor stated that Dominica has a lot of water along with many other natural resources, and he urges citizens to take full advantage of them.
Dominica. On one side we have the fish market, and on the other side we have the provision, the vegetables. And that is to say to us, is a sign, a signal of things to come. Too many times I believe that we believe too much in processed foods. And it's not that I'm saying that we should, as a nation, as a state, that government must put a ban on processed food.
Mr. Joseph believes that we should make a conscious decision to develop ourselves and build our nation by ensuring that we help the people who produce these natural foods.
Beautiful country, because the foods that we take in, which are all natural, will help us to trim, will help us to be as healthy as we would like to be. I'd also like to say that to the parents, that not every time that your child says that he or she is hungry, that you're going to bring her or bring him to the place where kids will find themselves killing their body. Because many a times when we look at our children, we're not so sure if a 10-year-old is...
Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit announced at a Dominica Labour Party public meeting held in St. Joseph earlier this year that all non-performing ministers would be replaced, in addition to making all constituencies vacant in the next general election, and ministers would have to write up a proposal to him on why they should continue as a minister. However, one minister appears to have not understood the seriousness of such a statement. Residents of Fortney, Jourdel and Eccleston fall under the Roseau South constituency under the Honorable Ambrose George. The residents are saying that there is no representation, and it seems they have been left on their own since after the 2009 general election. Many of the residents expressed their dissatisfaction in Mr. George's lack of representation for these villages and say it is time that something is done. However, due to the fear of victimization, they declined speaking on camera about their plight. One resident of Fortney, known as the Mobile Man, has no problem expressing the concerns of his camera-shy fellow villagers. He says one of their major issues is the deplorable conditions of the Fortney Road for many years now.
The pirate herself, I always say the pirate led the people of Fortney. Bad, bad, bad. You'd have even seen the pirate, Mr. Ambrose George. You'd have seen him one day, you can see this man, my brother. He's on his own funeral. His office will be opening. Long time we speaking about our condition of our roads in Fortney. This man turned back on the people of Fortney that he there to represent. But when it comes for election, you'll see them. In all the countries, you hear people talk about big road bumps and bumps. And to my brother, neighbor, Eccleston and Jourdel, my brother, if you see the footing of the roads in Jourdel and Eccleston, you will bore.
The Mobile Man says that some of the other concerns of the Fortney residents is the need for a laundry and also proper drainage, which he considers to be a small project.
That, in a way, this man is no confidence of a pirate to be running Fortney. Yes, no confidence of this man of running Fortney. And you know, to myself, I have to say, it will make a better deal that if Miss Sonia Williams was representing the people of Fortney, Kinsale, it is her choice to be in this party. It is not my choice to say that Miss Sonia Williams should do a good job. I'm not affiliating myself with the Labour Party. But if you want to look for representing people, they fool the people. They said that Sonia Williams Amber George will win and Sonia Williams will dare to represent nothing. Rather, Sonia Williams will be representing the people of Fortney better, will get a better.
He added that Mr. George knows what Fortney needs, but is so out of touch with the people that he does not care to do any project to try to alleviate some of the difficulties they are facing. There was a committee in place in Fortney where ideas were brought up to better enhance the community. However, that did not last long, as the few that attended said their concerns were falling on deaf ears.
This man doesn't come in the meeting. Mr. Amber George never come in the committee meeting, and it's a big shame of this man. You just doesn't see this man. You just don't even see this man. The Mobile Man, is the biggest mouthpiece to represent the people of Fortney, my brother. People in Fortney, they hide curtains. They behind doors. But they tell me, mobile man, it is good. But I will dare to demonstrate myself for this man. Mr. Amber Judge, what about the phone booth? What about the laundry, Mr. Amber Judge? What about the big wall, you sell cast down first and cast down the drain? The mosquitoes eating people. This thing is just a mess. You will hear me, but I hope that you will be seeing the mobile man on TV. You, Mr. Amber Judge, to demonstrate my...
Some areas of the road is so bad that it can be described as a minefield, and residents had to resort to using their own resources to patch some of the worst areas in the road. This proved to be a temporary fix, and a more permanent solution is needed. The mobile man added, with Community Day of Service coming up soon, when the government's main focus will be beautification, it seems the residents of Fortney, Eggleston and Girardel will have to beautify by planting flowers in large potholes, which are all over the village. The residents are calling on Mr. George, their parliament representative, to please do all in his power so their concerns can be addressed, especially as it relates to the deplorable conditions of the road. Efforts to contact Mr. George for comments proved futile, but SAT-TV News will provide any update on this story.
And in court tonight, one Mount-Prosper resident will have to work overtime from now until December 31st to pay fines after facing Rosal Magistrate Evelina Baptist on Monday, September 10th. 48-year-old Hendricks Julius Wade pled guilty to possession of cannabis and cultivation of cannabis after an incident which occurred on September 8, 2012. According to the facts of the case read by Police Prosecutor Inspector Claude Weeks, police officers who were on mobile patrol in an area known as Castle spotted Mr. Wade standing under a galvanized covering near a marijuana plantation. When questioned by the police officer, Mr. Wade replied, "Officer, marijuana trees are there, and I, Julius Wade, that planted them in early March this year, about 400 trees." He also added it is to help his family as he has 7 children and things are crucial. The officer also found tools near to the defendant where he explained he uses a cutlass to clean around the trees and an axe to dig holes to plant them. In mitigation, the defendant said that he has a child who attends high school and things are crucial at the market where he sells produce. However, the first-time offender made things worse for himself when he said, "Do I do it already and I'll try my best not to do it again. I try something and they hold me." Before handing down the sentence, Magistrate Baptist said the prevalence and destructive nature of drugs in the community is of concern. She also added it is not ethical to produce drugs to help the youth because business in the market is bad and there are other legal things he can do to earn an income. On the charge of possession of cannabis, the defendant was fined $5,000 to be paid by December 31st or in default spend 8 months in prison. The defendant was shocked upon being fined $50,000 for cultivation of cannabis, which has to be paid above mentioned date or in default spend 1 year or 5 months in prison.
This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.